Welcome to this week's episode of the Ramblin' Runnels podcast, hosted by Jesse Runnels, and I'm joined once again with my lovely wife, Jillian Winters.
Hello.
So this week, we're on the heels or after Dave and Pam's wedding that we went to last Saturday, as we're recording this on the Wednesday after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lovely wedding. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. It's on a golf course, which is not my scene, but whatevs.
Okay, well, the wedding itself wasn't like
No.
on the golf course.
No,
Was
but the venue was part of a golf course.
Yeah, it was like a banquet hall.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a good facility.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, it was, I was kind of thrown because, so, like, they had the reception set up in this one room, and then, like, when the ceremony, the actual wedding ceremony was in this one room, and then they, like, when it was over, they, like, tore it all down and then merged all the two rooms adjacent to where the ceremony was into one big room. So it was like, I don't know, it kind of threw me. I was like, whoa. I didn't know that was happening. Caught me by surprise.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's usually how those like banquet halls and stuff, like at hotels and stuff, conferences, they bring down those partitions.
Yeah. Now, no.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know, it was pretty fun. Saw a lot of people I knew. Got to talk to a lot of good folks.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I didn't get to talk to people enough. Like, there were quite a few people I didn't talk to at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was also, running around helping Dave and Pam and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of different being part of the wedding party versus not being part of it, just being a guest.
Yeah, it's very much different.
Yeah.
Yeah, super different. If anyone heard that fart-like noise, that was my coffee cup. Jesse wouldn't take me to get shivers, so I made myself a cup of decaf coffee, so you'll be hearing lots of coffee mug noises.
I offered eventually to take him.
Yeah, but then my impulse control, reined itself in, so we're sticking with decaf coffee. Anyways, back to the wedding.
Yeah, it was a fine wedding. It was
I think it was more than fine. Or are you saying fine as in like it was a fine wedding?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a pretty good wedding.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice.
Had a good time. Enjoyed seeing my brother-in-law getting married and dedicating his life to Pam.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the reception started, after we did our little dance into the reception area.
That is one regret I have, is that I really wish we had seen the setup of what it was going to be like and known like how far we would have had to walk to get like to a good open space, because like we were told like, okay, you have like 30 seconds a song, so we were like, okay, well, we'll dance the first part and then walk to our places, and it was like, but we were like weirdly off in a corner.
Oh yeah.
And also I couldn't really hear the music.
Yeah.
It was
I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of soft. I don't know if they had like transition music playing in the background because everyone had their own song.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, oh, it's already playing. Oh, okay, we need to start dancing. It was fun though. It was cute.
And it turns out that one of the DJs was our DJ from our wedding, which is kind of random,
hilarious. Yeah. He seemed to kind of remember. I mean, I wouldn't really expect him to remember because if he's been DJing weddings for 3 years, and I'm sure our wedding was not his first.
No.
And I did not remind him how he forgot to edit out the F-bomb as our wedding party walked down the aisle in my ceremony. Well, I just tried to let that one slide because nothing you can do about it now.
Nope.
Oh, well.
Can't.
One thing that, about the wedding, so in our last episode I mentioned how I think it's cheating. Like, I feel cheated if people don't write their own vows. Well, Dave and Pam didn't write their own vows. And, I told them I expect, like, a private vow recital just for my benefit.
Wait, you said that at the wedding to them?
Afterward, not, like, in the ceremony, but when we were all just hanging out, and Dave was like, oh, okay. But
It's awful, Jim.
I need to know how much they love each other. That's why I'm there. I mean, it was apparent anyway, but
Really? You said that?
Oh, you're someone to judge for things people have said. Okay, sure. Yes, I said that to my brother.
Well, why do you say that?
Because you say things all the time that it's like, well, how did that come out of your mouth?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you are working on it. But David said...
I didn't say that.
Well, I'm honest with my brother. I don't know what you want from me. Anyways, David said he was worried...
On his wedding day, though.
Said he was worried that his vows would be too long and over the top, and then Pam, I guess, doesn't like doing a lot of public speaking or like writing. Like, she was not into it, so then the vows would have maybe been a little mismatched. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Oh, okay.
I forget that some people get kind of nervous standing up in front of people.
Yeah, I was nervous up there.
You were?
I told you.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I think I was anxious because I knew I was about to have to dance in front of all these people in a routine. But I also
you're talking about this week? I thought you meant at our wedding.
Well, I don't know. I might have. I can't remember.
Yeah, I could tell you were nervous when we entered. We walked down the aisle together at Dave and Pam's wedding as like the groomsmen and bridesmaid or whatever. And I could tell you were nervous because you forgot. Like, you had done so good at like holding your arm where I could like link arms with you and everything. And your arm was like spaghetti and you didn't, I could tell you were flustered. You didn't remember how to hold your arm.
Yeah.
I could tell you had a little panic moment. But then you did great.
Yeah. Well, like, I remember one of the times I did open mic. I mean, I know this is completely off topic, but like, I made a point to try to remember what I was gonna like say or whatever, and I completely forgot. And I don't know why I did, but it was just the nerves got to me, and I was like, "Well, shit."
Yeah, some of those open mics recordings that I listened to were a little rough. Right. But that's where they have open mics, so people can like get up and practice.
Yeah.
Because like, no one's gonna pay you to see if you're good at comedy for the first time.
No.
So that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Work out all the kinks.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I don't know. I just got nervous. I don't know why. I don't know.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Are you nervous at open mics or nervous about weddings?
No, I was nervous at the wedding for whatever reason.
Yeah. I was a little nervous about the dance just because it was like not the setup that we
were
had
used
been practicing. Yeah.
And while I was standing up there, I could have sworn I seen somebody, like, sitting down during the... I mean, alright, I won't say it. During the ceremony, all of them already there. They were, like, falling asleep. I thought they were falling asleep. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were praying. Let's say they were praying.
The ceremony was like
sweet.
10 minutes long, so I highly doubt they were falling asleep.
Okay. Anyways. Carry on. But
Me carry on. You carry on. You're the one talking.
Yeah, okay. Well, I had a good time at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It's good seeing all our friends and people we haven't seen in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, I was kind of relieved after it was over. Part of me, to be honest. I don't know why,
I was relieved when it was the day of and we finally got to, like, do all the stuff that had been planned and whatnot.
Yeah.
It ended too soon. Like, I know it's really standard and common for wedding venues to, like, shut the wedding down at 10, but, like, no, way too early for me. Like, bar closed at 9, music got turned off at, like, 9:45 or something like that. Like, no, we need to keep this party moving.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted more. Which I guess is a sign of a good wedding. I've been to some weddings where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. But, yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
I was, myself and John Schwaniger, the best man, we were the official gown and veil fluffers. So, since unfortunately Pam's sister wasn't there, normally it's like the maid of honor just like trails around the bride and like makes sure her gown and veil and stuff are spread out in the pictures and whatnot. Sometimes the photographer does it if they know, you know. I think ours did that for me. I can't remember. But just making sure everything, you know, it's all spread out and looking good. So since there wasn't a maid of honor, John and I kind of took that over. So I really hope they look okay in pictures.
Yeah, hopefully they'll post the actual photos, like the professional photos, once they're ready.
I assume they will. They posted the engagement photos.
Oh, okay. So that'll be quite a treat.
Yeah, that was one thing I felt like I was getting a little bossy on, was I was trying not to overstep or like make it seem like I was bossing, but it also felt like we weren't taking that many photos.
Oh, with the photographers?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a whole, with the wedding party, that's like, you spent half the day or something doing that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's because Dave and Pam, like, it wasn't a priority for them, or like, you know, sometimes like I wanted a bunch of candid photos as well. Like, well, we made like the photography was one of like the top in our top 3 in terms of priorities budget wise and stuff for our wedding. I don't know. I didn't ask Dave and Pam ahead of time. I just noticed the day of. I was like, why aren't we? Where's the photographer? What is he doing? There were a few times where I had to be like, yeah, she's like putting her veil in. Should we get a picture of that? But it also, like, there were times where it was like, okay, well, Pam's like, you know, getting her dress put on. Normally you get like people helping you into, not like totally into your dress, but like doing the last few buttons or whatever. And Pam was like, no, I don't really need photos of this. So I don't know if maybe they just didn't care, or
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know
Maybe
either.
we'll have to get them on the podcast and ask them.
Yeah, we will need to do that, because I need answers. I need to know if the photographer was doing what they wanted, or if it was just like not a proactive photographer.
Hey, didn't one of the photographers look kind of like you know your parents' friend Tim?
He kind of did a little bit, less tall.
Yeah.
So that was the photographer. They also had a videographer, so I'm excited to see the video.
Oh, yeah.
But the photographer does TNR. He and his wife take care of some cat colonies.
Oh.
So isn't that cool?
Chatting up the photographer.
Yeah, it was when we were, so Dave and Pam went to take some solo photos down on the golf course part where if you have an outdoor ceremony where it would be. Their wedding was too big to have the outdoor ceremony, like it didn't see enough people. But they went down there and took photos, and I was like, oh, well, I gotta go because someone's gotta, floof her dress and spread out her veil and make sure she's... So I, crept along. Tried not to invade their private space, but I was invading their private space.
Isn't that your life's mission?
Pretty much. I just like to get in everyone's business.
Yeah. Well, I think that's covers up the wedding. After the wedding, we stayed at the Ameristar. So our good friend Taylor stayed here, before the wedding, and she stayed with us in the room.
Yeah.
And we had we all three of us slept on a king size mattress. It was a bit ridiculous, but
yeah. And Jesse and Taylor went to bed before I did, and I realized how lucky I was that I didn't even have to think twice about that. I know some people would be like, "Oh, my husband sharing a bed with my friend." Ooh.
Oh. I don't know.
It was just nice being like, yeah, whatever. I'll be there. I'll have lots of space. I'll have lots of space in the middle when I get there. And I did. I had lots of space because both you and Taylor are side sleepers.
Yeah.
At least, I don't know, started out as side. When I got in the bed, you guys were side sleeping.
Yeah, I'm just glad you didn't get us up and have you fix the sheets to your liking. Because she very much would have done that if they weren't just so.
I am not a monster for wanting my sheets to be nice, evenly spread out, not bunched up.
You fixed the sheets in our bed no less than 3 times in one night.
It's because
in the middle of the night too.
It's because you mess with them. You bunch them up and put them between you get hot, so you throw them off, but instead of gently folding them over to throw them off so the rest of the thing doesn't get in the way or whatever, you shove them over and then bunch them up between your leg, and then the whole bed shifts over to the side, so then I'm left drowning with this heavy blanket hauling off the end on my side. And it's pulled way up past my face because you're super tall. So you're the one moving it. I had to fix the sheets 0 times when I was living alone in Louisiana without you. Me and the kitties had our sheets down to a science.
Okay.
He doesn't look like he believes me, but it is the... I'll start taking photographs so you can see exactly what you're doing. Because it is distressing. I also hope everyone just heard Ryford breathe into.
Well, anyways, besides Jill's antics of the sheets, I don't know, I didn't realize that, I guess a lot of casinos, they just let people smoke in them.
Oh, it was so gross.
Yeah, so...
It was I forgot how much, because we didn't really have friends in Baton Rouge that smoked.
No.
Or we had a few, but we didn't ever hang out places where they would be smoking inside. But, yeah, I just completely forgot. What's he doing? Oh. Ryford's trying to scratch Jesse's backpack, but he doesn't have claws.
Thought he was going to pee on it.
He probably would have. I think sometimes he just likes to scratch. Anyways, I forgot what it was like to be around cigarette smoke, and it was like honestly hard to breathe.
Yeah.
And then I had my mask, for walking through the hotel and everything, even though I'm all vaxxed up, there were a lot of people. And I put it on the next day because it's one of those cloth ones or whatever, and it just reeked of smoke. It was like, I'd rather get corona than have to smell this. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And like people smoking full-on cigarettes and like cigars.
Yeah.
Like, I don't encourage vaping, obviously. I think all of it's like any addiction you have is not great, but like at least vaping doesn't reek. Ryford, honey, you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, cigarettes don't come out of your clothes. Yeah, that's why, like, yeah, the cigarette smoke, or if you, like, go to a diner, those, like, where there's people frying foods, that stuff never gets out of your clothes either.
I will never forget I was scarred for the rest of my life. We were on some back road in Mississippi or backwoods Louisiana. I don't even know. And it was one of those towns where they have just a four-way stop and that's it. But at the four-way stop was the gas station with the chicken inside. And Jesse was like, okay, I'm going to go in and just pee real quick. Like, couldn't make it to our destination for whatever reason. And sitting outside the diner, or outside the gas station, I was about to vomit because it smelled like someone vomited into their hands and then put it in the deep fryer. That was the smell. And then Jesse came back from peeing, and all of his clothes smelled like that, just from being in the same building as the vomit fry.
Well,
I'll never get over it.
Sorry.
I'm surprised I can even sleep in the same bed with you. I'm surprised I don't just look at you and immediately start dry heaving thinking about that smell. We had to drive. I forget where we were going, but it was like kind of a long drive, and we had to drive the rest of the way with the windows down. It was that bad. It was disgusting. I just need everyone to live through that trauma with me. Thanks for listening.
Well, anyways, Jill, I think that covers everything as far as the wedding.
Yeah, wedding and horrible fried smells. Perfect.
Yeah.
Great segue.
Do you have any current events?
I forgot we were even going to talk about that. I mean, I looked some up. No, I looked some up.
I don't have any.
Okay, no, I have some.
I wasn't prepared.
I have some.
Listeners.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about... Well, there's Luther scratching. We just got a lot of noises tonight, y'all.
Okay. Well, what current events, Jill?
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this about was it the Pfizer vaccine that got full FDA approval?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that's a big story, I guess. I'm kind of conflicted because I read some articles or like some statements from health directors and stuff like, hopefully this will increase people's confidence that the vaccine is safe and effective and that they'll get it. One, I don't know. I'm curious to hear your take. I don't think that it necessarily will. And then second, you saying that makes it seem like it wasn't, like it was approved just for that purpose.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, hopefully this helps you feel better. Like, okay, did you do it just to make me feel better? Or is it actually safe and effective? You know?
Yeah. I still think there'll be hesitancy no matter what. And I just think it's because of the last president.
Oh, well, yeah. That's a whole thing, too.
The whole... It's become a politicized thing, regardless of what people say, and I don't know. There's like this. I don't know. I just feel like there's this whole movement against the vaccine regardless of, like, I think I know people who aren't even necessarily conservative who are against it. You know, like, I've just heard from people. And I think people are just going to be against it no matter what.
Yeah, I kind of think that too. Like, my thought was like, the FDA already gave it emergency approval, and maybe I don't understand that much about the difference between full approval and emergency approval, but it's like, why would you trust one and not the other? You know, like, emergency is saying, yes, this is safe and effective and a better alternative to dying a painful death of COVID. And then full approval is just like, yeah, we've got all the data back, but it's like, the emergency approval seems like enough to me. You know, if people, like, if their concern is that it's safe, to me, emergency approval kind of met that standard. So I don't see giving it full approval necessarily helping, but maybe we don't talk to the right people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of conservative people are just not going to get it. They feel like, I don't even know where this information they're, like, as to why they can say, like, that it's not safe, because, well, like, when I used to research all this stuff, I quit doing it because it's so depressing, but, well, when the Pfizer first came out and people were getting Pfizer, it was like 1 out of 100,000 people who would get if that, like, one, like, not even
get
like
what?
Like allergic reactions.
Oh yeah.
You go into anaphylactic shock. So
and that, like, can happen with anything.
And I don't understand. Like, yeah, I don't understand. Like, what's, like, I don't understand, like, people, like, I've heard someone say that, well, what's the long term gonna be about it? Like, that you don't die, like, you don't have, like, severe COVID, symptoms, and
that's a fair question. I think that there's a lot of stuff that we don't know the long term effects of. But sometimes it's better just to be alive to see what they are. But, so you probably don't know this, but as a woman, that's something that, like, we still constantly have to think about what's the long-term effects with just birth control. Mm. And yet people just take it without even thinking, like, no, I don't know anything about the long-term effects. Like, apparently, I had some friends who said that their doctors said the depot shots only meant for 2 years. But then when I went on, I was on it for 7. And then when I went on and researched it, there was a lot of conflicting information about if it's good or bad to be on it long term. I asked my doctor, and it was like, well, it's bad in certain ways, but good in others. Like, it can decrease risks of certain cancers, but maybe increase other risks of cancers. Like, there's just so much that we just willingly accept and do that could potentially have really drastic long-term effects. Like, we're using cell phones. We're having these up to our brain 24/7. And no one's asking, like, people were asking what the long-term effect is, but now we're like, we don't care. We need our cell phones. Like,
yeah.
If you care that much about long-term effects, like, go live in the woods. Get away from everything. Like, don't stand in front of a microwave then.
Yeah.
Like, there's just, you can just go so deep into it in terms of weighing the pros and the cons. Then it's like, well, why don't you do that with everything?
Yeah. That's true. But, well, good talk on the,
I will say one thing that we do know the long-term benefits of is owning a cat.
Yep.
They reduce chance of heart disease and stroke and, I don't know, crap like that. So everyone should probably just get a cat.
Sure.
Solution.
And,
no more phones, no more microwaves, only cats.
All right. And let's move on to joke of the week.
Oh gosh, really?
Guess not.
No, go ahead. I'm ready. I'm in such a good mood. I'm ready to laugh.
Okay, so for the joke of the week, so every now and then I tick Jill off pretty badly, and I make up for it by buying her flowers, and the flowers I bought this time have lasted probably the longest of the flowers I bought. Only if our love making would last as long. It's very telling for our personal lives, folks. But it's the honest truth.
That's on you. Well,
guess it is on me, but
but also sometimes I get ADD and I want to go do other stuff.
Wow. That's also very telling. And but anyways, let's try to.
These flowers lasted so long, I literally forgot what you did that I was mad about.
As did I. Or I usually just try to forget anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I try to remember, but like I have zero idea.
But anyways, do you have a Jill's Kitty Corner for this episode, Jill?
I do, but I want to share that these flowers have lasted so long that Jesse already had to do another gift to make me forgive him before these flowers even died. He drove me through a pothole and then yelled at me when I yelled. And so he gave me a "You're the pineapple of my eye" coffee mug.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't like being yelled at when I'm the one who got jammed against the roof of a car.
I was trying to save that one, too, for a good while.
I already drank out of it. It's amazing. It's a very cute mug. I wanted Jesse to call me the pineapple, like in that Marc Maron show, but he refused. But the coffee mug's probably just as good.
Yeah.
Okay, Jill's Kitty Corner. Welcome to Jill's Kitty Corner. Meow. Meow. Well, Luther didn't even move. Really not a ton of updates, except that tomorrow we have Luther's first acupuncture appointment here in St. Louis. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's been a few months since he's gotten it. He usually gets it once a month. And I know it's absurd to get your cat acupuncture, but we have the money and it really makes a difference for him. So I figure I work really hard to earn money, so I should be able to spend it on what makes me happy. And Luther makes me happy, so I'm spending all my money on him. But I'm really excited because it's a vet that is like a mobile vet. So she will come to your house at no cost, which is insane. I've looked into mobile vets before and they're like, okay, yeah, like $5 a mile to come to you. And it's like, well, I'm not going to pay $1,000 just to not drive my cat to the vet. So anyways, very excited about that. She'll give him a little exam, make sure we're doing the right herbal supplement because we do Chinese herbs in addition to his typical Western medicine treatments. And then he gets his little acupuncture. He just gets dry needling. Sometimes he gets his ears bled, which is supposed to release the heat. I don't know I don't know if I buy that, but Luther seems to like it, so whatever. They just poke a little hole right at the tip of his ears and let some blood out.
He's got a hot ear.
Yeah, he gets... Well, cancer patients, their ears do run hot. Animal cancer patients, so that's it, part of it. But nice IT crowd reference. So, yeah, if she's good, if we like the vibe, we might start just, like, having her come see all our other cats because Lord knows they don't want to go in a carrier.
Nope.
So, pretty excited about that. An update, Ryford's eye is doing great. We finished his rounds of meds. We have a few little oral medications that we need to give him, like taper off, but he's doing fabulous. His beautiful blues are back up and creepily staring because that's his vibe. And that's it for Jill's Kitty Corner. Meow.
Well, I hope you all enjoy the podcast this week. I hope you enjoy this week's episode. And to all who listen, thanks. And once again, you can follow me on my Instagram, Ramblin' Runnels, or on my other Instagram, Jesse.Runnels. You could find me on Facebook. Simply search Jesse Runnels. And you can follow me on Twitter at Jesse_Runnels. And you could email me for content, like for questions or whatever you want to hear on the podcast at ramblinrunnels@gmail.com. And you could find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, most platforms. So, yep, I hope you, once again, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Goodbye.